Glad you guys are here. Oh, this meeting is now being recorded. Hello. Hallie, I can't hear anything. That's weird. For some reason, it's muted. So it's a good thing that we're not talking because I don't have any sound. But you guys can hear me. So there we go. So Hallie, if you need me, you're probably gonna, I don't think you can talk. I don't know if I can hear you. You're gonna have to keep typing. So let's dig in. So, welcome. My name is Michelle Lynn, and I am the owner of ML Interiors Group, which is an award-winning interior design firm in Dallas, Texas. And I've been in business since 2008, basically. But y'all, the first 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, the first 5 years of business, the first 2 years, I was still in corporate, so I was doing it part-time. Then I made the leap and was doing it full-time. The first few years, I was doing home staging, organizing, and what we called redesign. In 2013, my home staging business just kind of fell apart because here in Dallas, everybody was selling their homes as soon as they put a sign in the yard said coming soon. So home staging was not necessary. I was forced to pivot really quickly and focus on the design side. So oftentimes when I'm saying I understand how scary it is because I didn't feel like I had enough experience or education or whatever, and felt a little bit like a fraud and a little bit insecure, like I get it. Like I had to put my big girl panties on and really just get going into the focus of what needed to be done to keep the doors open. And at that time, literally there were no business coaches. No, I take that back. Toby Fairley was available, and I got involved in some of her programs there. But there, like now you can throw a stone on any corner and hit a business coach for interior designers. But at the time that was not available. So I promised, as I was building my design business and falling on my ass and losing money and losing sleep and then having some success and that just going back and forth, I promised myself that once I figured it out, I was going to share it with other designers. So that's why I'm here, because my interior design firm can basically run itself. It doesn't need my hand holding it all the time. And I'm not involved in the design sourcing as much. I still oversee and approve a lot of it. But Debbie and Juliana are the lead designers on all of the projects, and Debbie does my operations and my business management and stuff like that. So I am blessed to have the ability to really spend time training. I have my paid program, which is called the Interior Design Business Bakery. I have this free training that we do every couple of weeks here on the Facebook group. I have my podcast. Like, this is where my heart is. It is like seeing y'all and you're wanting to grow your interior design business and figuring out how can I help? Like, what does the market need? Because I still have my I still have my feet on the ground because I have my interior design business. But what do you guys need? So feel free at any point when you're in the Facebook group or here on Zoom, you can type in the chat or whatever, don't hesitate to tell me, like, what sort of content do you guys need? This is where God has me. I know that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be because this way I can serve you as the audience. So anytime you guys are looking for something, yeah. And Hallie, let me introduce Hallie real fast. I was talking to her a minute ago. Hallie is our community manager. She oversees making sure that she's listening to our community, that she's sharing things with me that I might be blind to. She's polling you for what sort of content do you want. So she's in our community here in the free Facebook group, and she's really plugged in our paid groups, because we have the Interior Design Business Bakery. We have the Sugar and Spice Society, which is all about marketing and how to find new clients and how to develop some processes and procedures there. Okay, so that you can go forward and learn the business processes in the bakery. So Sugar and Spice is like sales and marketing and things along that line. The Interior Design Business Bakery is the processes and procedures to run your business. It's pricing and things along that line. And then we just launched the design from scratch. So you guys can tell that all of these have a bakery theme, but I like food and I like sweets, so it all kind of goes together. But design from scratch is for the the design enthusiast who wants to start their own business, but you don't have that degree. And so basically it's giving you the it's not the content of a 4-year degree, but we've consolidated it into 6 months so that you have a lot of the foundation. Okay, so that's my commercial. That's who I am. That's what I do. But today we're talking about, oh wait, let me look this up real fast so that I can say it properly. Let's see here. We are talking about general contractors, how to find and set up good relationships. Okay, so general contractors, or even any trades. Okay, so let's talk about this. Is going to be any trade, general contractors, things along wallpaper hangers. Like, what are you looking for? And how to develop a good relationship with them. So I'm speaking about general contractors today. You can take this and apply it to any trade professional that you need. Okay, so first, how do you find a good general contractor? What we've done here at ML Interiors Group is literally on social media. There's a couple different ways that you can go about it. One is you can run a search on general construction, like Dallas area construction, okay, construction Dallas, renovations Dallas, like run searches on that, okay, and then you can kind of take a look, and you can rule some people out just by the look of their work, okay, but by doing that, then you can start following them, and then you can start engaging in some conversation, and that it's literally that easy, and you don't need to get the best of the best, but you need to start developing a relationship. We're going to talk about that. Okay, developing that relationship, because you might find somebody who's just starting their own business, who has wicked talent, but they don't have a lot of social media or portfolio or anything to show for it. Okay, but just like us, we all have to start somewhere. So you could find this little diamond in the rough that you grow with. I had that back in 2008, 9, 10, 11, and 12 with a construction company that I met them at a trade show. Okay, so that's another place where you can meet people, is go to your local home shows, because the people at the home shows that are that have their booth set up, that's what they do. That's what they want. They're there to get business. So you can go to a home show, and you don't need to be a vendor there. You can go and meet everybody, and that's really what you want. So you can go and say, okay, I met this landscape professional. Okay, I met this construction company who specializes in renovations and new builds or whatever. So you can go and you can start holding conversations with them, which is what we're going to talk about next. Like, how do you develop a good relationship with them? Another way that you can find good general contractors or good trade professionals is going to be also on Instagram, by following other designers and see who they tag. So we've had some really great contractors that we've met because another designer tagged them. So if another designer that I know and respect locally, okay, or at least I respect, is tagging them and using them, well, they've already been kind of vetted for us. Does that make sense? Like, okay, that designer, she does good work. It seems like her caliber is right up there. So you call this contractor and say, hey, I'd like to sit down and chit chat with you and find out how you work. Okay, that's what you're going to say with any of them. Hey, I've been following, I met you at the home show, or I've been following you on Instagram for a little bit, and I'd love the opportunity to visit with you. I'm a local interior designer and would like to find out how you work. Okay, so that's, I mean, who doesn't want to receive a phone call that way? So that's how you can start meeting people. Another way is to meet them through your clients. So I don't prefer to work with my clients' contractors, because oftentimes it's, Joe Bob and he might be missing a tooth and is he going to show up drunk or whatever? So you just don't know. Or it's like, it's my brother's cousin's fiance. Okay, so great. You want to work with them? I'm not so interested in that. But we have met some really good people who have all their teeth and don't show up drunk and they show up on time and they're clean and they're respectful and so forth. So being open to that is something it's useful because it could put a new body in your arsenal. Okay. Um, so same thing. Before you agree to work with this contractor on your client's project, you're going to want to meet them and have the same conversation with them that you would have with just another contractor that you meet elsewhere. Okay. And feel free, y'all, feel free to ask questions here. In fact, Jackie, oh, how to find qualified clients. Sorry, babe, I think I missed that one. Hallie's, thank you. Hallie will take good care of you. So drop your email in and Hallie will be able to send you some stuff. And she's not just going to pitch you the paid program. She'll send you some good content that you can use immediately. Okay, so what conversation do you want to have with this prospective general contractor? Create a document. Okay, create a document that is like your trade program agreement. Okay, it's not a contract, but what you're doing is you're going to set expectations of the contractors that you work with. It's also when you meet with this person, it's fantastic if you can meet with them for coffee. Okay, so that so that you can see if they have all their teeth. Okay, now Zoom would work too. You can clarify if they have all their teeth. But if you can meet for coffee one morning and you can have this conversation, in my opinion, it's like dating. You can kind of feel their energy. You can determine, is this somebody that I'm going to like to work with? Are they on time? Do they smell like alcohol at 9 in the morning? Like all, you're just kind of pre-qualifying them. So you meet with them and you have this document, you can hand it to them so they have their copy. And then you can run through your expectations with them. And what this is going to come down to is it's going to be a combination of, yeah, thank you, Hallie. Don't worry about bringing a fancy marketing presentation. Guys don't usually care about that. Just meet and get to know them. And you're right. I think mine is probably just black and white. I don't even know if it has it probably has my logo on it, but it's nothing fancy. And basically you're going to set your expectations. And as you grow in sophistication with your projects and your company, you're going to add to your expectations of your contractors. Okay. So for example, some things that we have on ours is going to be no loud music. You can have music on at the job site, fine. No loud music. Clean up every time you leave. So I don't care if the project is vacant or occupied. You clean the work site up before you leave every day. No swearing. Okay, no alcohol. I joke about it because it's been an experience. If you don't spell it out, the expectations that you're living with their expectations. It is no parking, no, like park in the driveway with permission only. Park on the correct side of the street. Make sure you have insurance. Like I need to have I need to have proof of your insurance. So these are the types of things, but when you sit down and you share these conversations with them and you go through and you want to first ask them, tell me how you work. So let me go back to that. You meet them, you want to hear how they work. Start it off not saying, here's my rules. You're going to start it off by being friendly and asking them, tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell me how you work. How long have you been in business? What are you best at? What are you not good at? Is there a certain part of town that you prefer to work in? So if you're in a large metroplex, like I'm in Dallas, there are some people who don't want to go, on one side or the other of a freeway. So you want to find those geographical areas so that you're not forcing them to go to the opposite side of town. And then they're going to be pissed off and resenting you because they accepted this job. But they tell the client all the time, well, we don't work on this side of town usually. So blah, blah, blah. It's happened. This is from experience. So you want to learn about them, and then you'll want to give them a little bit about your background. So I've been in business for this long. This is kind of the type of projects that we work on and so forth. It could even be, hey, I'm just starting my business. I don't have a project right now, but I'd love to collaborate with you going forward. And don't be afraid to tell them that you're relatively new and to go ahead and provide you with feedback. Okay, you're not expected to know everything. Some red flags that you want to look for is if they're talking down to you like you're a little girl. Okay, like that just, no, that's not cool. So those are some things to watch for. You can ask them, how often are you on site? But some of the most valuable relationships are just that, they're relationships. And that means that you're giving them your ideas, but you're listening to their feedback. Like, yes, Christina, we could do that, but we're going to have to add 2 zeros to the end of the project cost. So if your client's good with that, not a problem. And you might be like, oh, I thought it was a really good idea at the time, but if it's going to cost that much, what else can we do to get that same blah, blah, blah? So those are the give and take that you want. Don't walk in feeling like you have to know everything. And then leave that document with them. But you might even want to ask them, how do you get most of your business? Have you worked with designers before? If they haven't worked with designers before, then you can train them the way you want them to work with you. And then depending on how long you've been in business, and you know what? We still learn something on every single project. Like, what could we have done differently? What could we have done better? Oh, hey, next time I'm going to go ahead and actually draw out the electrical plan in advance so that they have it. Does it need to be construction document worthy? Like, no, I'm not going to submit it to the architect, but I really wish they would have asked where I wanted to put the I don't know, the light switch, because they put it too far in and or whatever. So you don't want to leave anything up to chance. You're going to say, oh, well, next time this is what I'm going to do. So give yourself that grace to know that, when you do develop good relationships with contractors, that it's that mutual respect and mutual conversation. But they cannot read your mind. So you have to give them their boundaries and you have to give them your expectations so they don't show up drunk, missing their teeth after a bar fight the next day. So anyway, yeah, I know I cracked myself up, but y'all, I'm telling you, it can be a thing. And then when you do potentially call a contractor based on another designer's, say, tagging them or something, call the designer and say, hey, hey, Elizabeth, this is Michelle Lynn from ML Interiors Group, and I saw that you were working with blah, blah, blah construction company. And I was thinking about giving them a call, but I wanted to talk to you first and see what your feedback is. Like, do you enjoy working with them? And they might say, they were great 2 years ago, but I don't know what happened. Like, they've totally tanked out on the last 2 projects. Okay, there you go. So you can potentially save yourself some heartburn. And Jackie's asking, what do GCs truly want from us? They all seem to be so busy, some won't even return a call. Yeah, Jackie, that's a great question. If they're not returning calls, then you probably have dodged a bullet, because if they're running their business, so loosey-goosey, then they might be running their projects that way. So don't chase them if they're not calling you back. It's like I said, it's kind of like dating. If the dude's not calling you back, don't chase them. What they want from us is they want us to be organized, and they want us to tell them exactly what needs to be implemented. They don't want clients coming to them saying, well, what tile should I use and how should we install it and all that sort of stuff. They want us to say, this is the tile we're going to use. The client has approved it. It's going to be laid in this pattern, and here's the grout color. Go for it. Okay. You give them, if it's a renovation, here's the flooring. Here's the direction I want it to lay. Here's the tile. Here's how I want it installed. Here's the countertop. Okay. This is the inspiration for the countertop. Who do you use? Like, they just want that communication. And they want you to be organized up front. They don't want you to be saying, oh, shit, I forgot to tell you. Okay. And then they're like, well, the electrician's already left. That means they're going to have to come back for another visit and blah, blah, blah. It's going to happen. It's totally going to happen. I just did that to my contractor in my new house because I didn't have it laid out like a design project. It was just kind of like a, you know, a homeowner project. Sorry, dude, but Bryant Construction is probably cursing me. So in that respect, they just want you to tell them what to do. It's like a husband that you pay. Just tell me what to do. I don't want to read your mind.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
Highlight for them that you are a problem solver for them as well as the client.
That's a great point. Juliana's right over here. When you meet with them, tell them, I'm here to be the problem solver for you and for the client. Okay, you're the one driving the bus. You're the tour director. You're saying, hey, we're going to go over here. We're going to go over there. The contractor is going to tell you when. They're going to implement it. They're going to take all of the information you give and they're going to line up their trades. When clients come to you, do they expect you to have your own contractor? We do refer them. And here's why, and this is what I'm going to end it with. Here's what I'm going to end it with. While I'm happy to work with their contractors or anybody that they recommend, I don't have as much leverage over that individual. And what I mean by that is if Juliana was my contractor and I was like, hey, Juliana, here you go. Here's a job. Hey, Juliana, here's another job. Hey, Juliana, here's another job. You know what? Juliana is going to bust her ass to try to make me happy. Okay. When I need to call in a favor from that contractor, they're not going to be as apt to push back because I'm feeding them really good projects. Okay. I have leverage to say, dude, I'm sorry, but you have to have this project done by the end of the month. Get your guys working on the weekends if you need to. Like, I have that leverage over that contractor because we've brought them that much business. If it's just some random contractor, you know, that's Billy Bob that they brought from their cousin's husband's fiance or whatever, then I don't have as much leverage to get things done right. If the contractor, if I gave them all of the information, like here's the white tile and I want black grout, and they lay down the white tile with white grout, I'm gonna have a lot easier time because I spelled everything out and I was organized and I presented it to them and I reviewed it with them and I'm giving them extra business to tell them, Billy Bob, it was supposed to be black grout. You pull it up on your dime and redo it. Does that make sense? Okay. When I refer contractors to clients, okay, that's a good, oh, thanks, Jennifer. I love the little emojis. Thank you. Erica says, oh, Sanda, I see you. I'll go back to that. Erica says, when you refer contractors to clients, you take on more legal responsibility though. So good question. No, because the contract is between the contractor and the client. Okay. Do I have and you have to make that clear because that is a great assumption that some clients have had. Well, you brought John to this project. That means you owe me blah, 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 blah. Nobody. We talked about it and it's in my contractor that I'm referring this person to you. You can agree or disagree whether you want to go into business with them and sign their contract. So that's how I protect myself. And do I give a single referral or let clients pick from a short list? If they want to interview them on their time, they can interview them on their time. I'm not going to go get 3 bids. It's one, and I don't have the time for that. If they want to, if they are like, well, I want to get 3 bids and I'm going to pick which one I want to pick, that's fine. You're going to pay me for my time because that's not built into my design fee. So those are just conversations that you have. Girls, women, ladies, and any gentleman that might be here. You do not have to succumb specifically to your client's wishes at your expense. So when they ask you something, you don't have to say yes or no. You can say, let me check. Let me think about that. Let me get back to you. Okay. If they're saying something like that, and then you're like, well, fuck, I didn't plan for 3 visits. It's going to take me 2 hours each time. Okay. And you just explain to them. And then if that's what you need to do, you need to go back and write it into your contract and make sure that you present it better the next time. Sanda said, I worked with the GC in which his subs were great, but the main owner only wanted to talk to me if he needed something from me. I had to chase him for updates. Why do GCs struggle? Sanda, here's what I'm going to say, and it's being recorded. Why do they struggle with communication so much? It's because they're men. Okay. I'm just saying that that's not their strongest suit. And you have to train them to your expectations. Okay. So I say that tongue in cheek, but even my husband, who is a dear, dear man, we've been married 16 years. I still have to get on him for communication. And I mean, we're in the same bed. So imagine if you're not in the same bed with your contractor, the communication is not always going to be the strongest. So that's where you have to, maybe you tell him, I need a Friday follow-up. Okay, so put that in your list of things to talk about with them. I need to hear from you once a week with a status update. Okay, so especially if that's your hot button, if that's what you need, then you tell them what you need. Okay. Erica, Christina Christina got into this situation, did the best research, met a contractor who was recommended by my friend. So made a contract, but saw the things are done bad. What is the best way to deal with the situation? So Christina, the best way to deal with a situation is straight on. And also here's another thing, because most contractors are men. Okay, is Christina still here? Yeah, I don't know if oh, there we go. Duh. Hello. I've been talking to you over the course of this. You just have to deal with it straight on. Like, have that conversation and say, hey, John, I need to have a meeting with you. You're going to be on the project site. Can I have 30 minutes can I have 30 minutes on Thursday, whatever. And then walk them through and say, listen, I want to point this out to you because this grout line is thin over here and it's thick over there. It's this, it's that, and just share with them and say, that doesn't meet my expectations. What can we do about it? The more willing you are to have difficult conversations, the better your job and life will be. We cannot shy away from difficult conversations, even if you want to pee down your leg while you're having that conversation. Okay, it's not easy, but you have to do it. Another thing is that you have to be very straight and very direct. Don't tippy-toe around and try to be nice. Okay, because more than likely, your nice is going to be perceived almost as wimpy. Okay, your firm is going to be firm. Okay, you're not going to be an asshole about it, even if you feel like you're being an asshole about it. Do not let emotion get involved. Okay, it's not about you. Okay. Give my clients 3 options for the GC and they have to pick which one they want to work with. Okay. Jackie says, we put in our design contract that we are not responsible for any issues that arise with the contractor. Yes, yes. So y'all need to make sure that your contract covers your ass, and you need to make sure that you have an attorney just review it and put in any caveats that are necessary. So that's a great point, Jackie. Boy, we're going long on this one. So thank you guys for your patience. What is the best practice around setting the budget and timeline and working with a builder contractor? Who's responsible for tracking each and informing the client? Setting the budget and timeline and working with the builder contractor. Who's responsible for tracking each and informing the client? Okay, so the contract is with the client and the contractor, but you're all 3 on the team. So when it comes to setting the budget, when it comes to finalizing the design, that's going to be between the 3 of y'all, client, contractor, and you. Because you might have, and Juliana and I were just talking about this a second ago, you might have picked this beautiful wallpaper to wrap their bedroom in, and it pushes the budget once you figure out that they're telling you that you need to order X number of rolls, and then it pushes you outside of that budget. So then as the designer, you're not going to give permission to the contractor to go and install that wallpaper that you're going to buy and push over the budget. The contractor is going to tell you, here's what it's going to cost. you say, oh shit, that's gonna push us $10,000 out of our budget, and you go to the client and say, this is gonna push us $10,000 out of the budget, do you wanna do this, or do you wanna just paint this in the same colors what the wallpaper would be? That's who's responsible. It is a group effort. Jenica, and this really is the last question, I gotta go. What level of drawings do you provide? I spend so much time on drawings that they don't appear to refer to them during the project. Oh, girl, that's a thing, isn't it? How can we communicate better so that we can get them to read the drawings instead of having them fix it at the end? That's a very valid question. So there's a couple things. One is, so from a business standpoint, you don't have to spend a lot of time on the drawings if it's not highly detailed, intricate work. Okay, you can just kind of, you want to be smart about it, but you want to give them enough information to be accurate. Then what you have to do is you basically need to have the drawings on site, like one on site for the contractors, one for the GC, and one for you, and probably one for the client. Okay, so minimum of 3, preferably 4 sets of drawings. Then what you're going to do is anytime that you're talking to the contractor, you just refer back to the drawings. Okay. And you might even get to the point where, so sometimes we just, here's the thing. Contractors don't always work with somebody who provides them drawings. Contractors may forget about it because you've given them such a bonus. So imagine a contractor has worked with 25 different projects and you're the only one giving them drawings. You're just gonna have to remind him that you're the badass that gave him drawings. When he calls and asks you something, hey, dude, it's in the drawings. Hold on. Oh, it's on page 6. Okay, so you can go and you can refer back to it and remind him that it's there. Imagine, as you are, sometimes juggling multiple projects, your life, your family, like all the things, you don't remember everything. Okay, speaking of, Juliana just had that with our contractor at her house. Okay, she said, this is exactly what I told you to do. Okay, but the same thing. It's like, oh yeah, I'll go back and look at that. So it's, you just have to remind them. I have to remind my husband to, pick up his trash because the man opens mail, and I'm picking on my husband a little. He opens mail and he just leaves shit everywhere. It's like, dude, like there's 3 empty envelopes that have been ripped to shreds right here. Why isn't it in the trash? I don't talk to him that way, but you just have to remind him, hey, honey, just a reminder, when you open the mail, please put it in the trash. Like, okay, Mr. Contractor, just a reminder, please take a look at the drawings before you call me. Okay, so it's just the same reminder. So yeah, binder that's on site. There you go. All right, y'all. So it sounds like this is a hot topic. Email Hallie if you want more contractor stuff specific to this, that, or the other, and we'll put this on the schedule. So if there are topics, you don't have to come up with the details. It's like, Hallie, I think I want something about blah, 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 blah. She and I will get together and come up with it. Okay, so we've gone about 15 minutes over schedule, but I love this stuff. This is where I'm supposed to be, guys. So thank you for being here. Again, we're on YouTube under Designed for the Creative Mind. If you're watching this as a replay on the Interior Designers Business Launchpad, please type in replay. Okay, we need that data and that feedback so we know what content really does resonate with you guys. So thanks for being here, and we'll see you again soon.